Hello and welcome back to the channel. 2 days in a row, eh? I hope you're having a nice weekend. And I'm going to talk about legions again. And I'm only going to make legions videos if I've got something different to say than what they're posting on Whammy community, because you can just read that for yourself. So, as I've said before, so yesterday I put a video up about some points and stats for units, and today I've got information on more legion specific rules. So again, these are rumors and don't take them as gospel until we see them in official print. But saying that, there are reasons to think that they are legit. So let's look into it. Not so long ago, they published 3 of the Legion specific rules: White Scars, World Eaters, and Salamanders. And there they are, and they are on Warhammer Community. And these 3 here are in the leak, in the scripture I've got, and it's exactly the same. So again, like the stats and the point stuff, they've shown stuff which matches up. So it's a good indicator, but you never know. So I've got a few more legion specific rules, not all the legions, but some. So let's have a look, shall we? Right, so starting with Thousand Suns, legion special rules apply to all Thousand Sun models. Kind shields, Thousand Sun models with the commander special rule gain the shield generator 6+. So 6+ invuln save, I guess, for commander models. That's kind of it. White Scars is the same. You can read it there. You can check it against the community info. So I'm not going to read that out. Dark Angels there's a lot going on here. The thing is, with a lot of these rules, without having the actual book, a lot of it won't make sense, but you might be able to get an idea of the sort of thing. Let's have a look. Applies to all Dark Angels. Hexagrammaton, formations of the Hexagrammaton, so that's a special formation, I'm guessing. Any detachment, 3 or more models, different types. Any formation that meets these requirements gain one of the following benefits. All detachments in the formation that contain only Dark Angels infantry models gain the Phosphex. And implacable special rules for Phosphex is that horrendous flame weapons, so like decimators, whatever. So that's quite cool. Implacable is, I guess, not moving. All detachments in the formation contain only cavalry models, gain the outflank. And all detachments within the formation contain only vehicle models, contain nimble. So they've got some kind of movement rules, and then it goes on into how you choose and all that sort of stuff. So I don't want to spend all my time breaking this down. I'd like you to sort of read it yourself. Again, a lot of that is going to be rules in the main book, so you can only make some assessments anyway. But there's a lot going on with the Dark Angels there. Okay, next up, Alpha Legion, mutable tactics. For each formation in an army made up entirely of Alpha Legion detachments, controlling player may select up to 3 Alpha Legion detachments in the army to be affected by mutable tactics. For each allied contingent in an army made up entirely of Alpha Legion detachments, the controlling player may select 1 Alpha Legion detachment to be affected by mutable tactics. Detachments with the Flyer special rule cannot be chosen. The detachment chosen to be affected by mutable tactics gains a special rule dependent on detachment type. Sounds very Alpha Legion, doesn't it? If a selected detachment is made up of infantry, cavalry, walker, or vehicle models, all models within it gain either the infiltrate, outflank, or forward deployment special rule. This is chosen by the player. Blah blah blah. So okay, yeah. So they have infiltration tactics and outflanking and that kind of stuff. So yeah, very Alpha Legion, and it looks like you very specifically build your army around this kind of rule. Yeah, quite cool, quite wordy. The Ultramarines is next. I like this because I'm old It's easier to remember. So special rules following applies to all Ultramarines. Interlocking tactics. Ultramarines model may re-roll. When I say model, I think that's a base, a stand of infantry or a tank or a war machine. But that's me in old epic money. Ultramarines model may re-roll any hit rolls of 1 when firing upon an enemy detachment that's already had 1 or more hits scored against it in this round by an Ultramarines model from the same formation as the firing model. So a way of getting re-roll 1s. Re-rolls in any game of Warhammer is always very strong. Bear in mind we're using a D6. So very cool. Love Ultramarines in 30k. I'm a bit of a Calf fanboy. Emperor's Children. Legion's special rules following apply to all Emperor's Children. Exemplars of War. Once per battle, an army that includes at least 1 formation consisting entirely of Emperor's Children models, ignoring models within an allied contingent, may choose to win initiative instead of rolling. They must declare they are doing this before rolling. If both players have this role, the player who did not have initiative last round chooses if they can use it, so on. Okay, and then next one is if an army includes at least 1 allied contingent comprised of Emperor's Children detachments. Once per battle, the controlling player may re-roll the dice, roll for initiative instead. Can only do this if at least 1 Emperor's Children detachment is on the battlefield or in reserve. So if they've been destroyed or left the field, then you can't use it. So that's quite strong. Anyone that plays AT, when you've got that clutch turn going on and you want to be that first player, getting to go first is very, very strong. And then even if you've got an allied detachment, you can re-roll that dice. So very good in the clutch. Quite like that. Very sneaky Emperor's Children. Okay, so next up we've got the World Eaters, and it is the same as the Warhammer community article. You can check that out, cross-reference it. I ain't going to read it out, but it is the same. Word bearers. So true believers, detachments within a word bearers formation never count as broken for the purposes of being issued an order. So basically what this means is when you are broken, you have to have a basic order, but for them it won't matter. You can pick what you want still. So good tactical flexibility for the word bearers. Death Guard, Sons of Barbarous. Detachments do not suffer hits for moving through dangerous terrain, and all their rules here are about terrain. And I think terrain rules can be very important for legions, so that could be very useful. It makes me wonder how optional some of the terrain rules will be, much like they are in Titanicus, like destroying buildings, etc. In addition, at the start of the battle, before any detachments are deployed, a player may pick 2 areas of terrain in their if their army contains at least 1 Death Guard formation. For the remainder of the battle, these areas count as dangerous terrain in addition to any other rules. 2 structures can be selected in place of a single area terrain. Each time a model garrisons or leaves a structure designated as dangerous terrain, it counts as having moved 1 inch through it. So you'll take damage basically. Death Guard can corrupt areas of the battlefield and do damage to you that way. Iron Warriors, the bitter end when determining which player controls a neutral objective marker. Iron Warriors infantry and walker models count their tactical strength as 1 higher than normal. In addition, when determining who controls an objective marker in a deployment zone, Iron Warriors infantry walker models count their tactical strength as 2 higher if within their own deployment zone. For example, an Iron Warriors Legion tactical detachment model would contribute 7 to the total tactical strength instead of 5 while in its own deployment zone, for the purposes of determining which player controls an objective within that deployment zone. Okay, so as far as we're aware, controlling objectives is going to be key to winning games, and I think victory points are calculated at the end of every turn for a lot of missions, etc. So Iron Warriors being Iron Warriors, siege specialists, and good at building defense lines, etc. So holding objectives will be their thing. So that could be stronger than we realise potentially. And the Salamanders one again has been on the Warhammer community page, and it is the same. So you know, it does make me think these are legit. So last up is Solar Auxillia rules. That's all the legions that I've got. So there's plenty missing, as you can see. Solar Auxillia army list. Let's see. Solar Auxillia force can include a maximum of 1 legate commander per 1500. This is a bit of army building here. Close formation fighting. Solar Auxillia trained to fight shoulder to shoulder, each warrior supporting those next to them, to present an unyielding wall. A Solar Auxiliary infantry model increases its close assault by 1 while in base-to-base contact with 1 or more friendly Solar Auxiliary infantry models. If a detachment is garrisoned within the structure, it is presumed to be in base-to-base contact with another model. So close assault factor is your bonus for fighting in close combat. So they get +1 if they are side by side. Solar Auxilia command structure. Many Solar Auxilia detachments have the chain of command special rule, which limits the orders they can be issued with, unless they are in range of a detachment within HQ. Okay, so there are command restrictions unless you have commanders around your army. That's interesting. Tank commander, sounds cool already. Certain formations and or detachments allow a model to be upgraded to a tank commander. Where applicable, this will be stated in the relevant description, yada yada. Tank commander gains 6-inch special rule, increases its morale by 1, so buffs morale. And you should make this clearly visible, so guy in a hatch, a banner, paint your tank, whatever. You can work that out yourself, but that's cool. And chain of command. Detachments with the chain of command special rule can only be issued in advance order unless instructed otherwise. Okay, so if an independent unit contains only models without this rule, then that independent unit can be issued another order, even if the larger detachment can only be issued with the advanced order. So they look very strict with having the right units, the right detachments, with the right commanders in it to get the best out of your orders. Solar Auxiliary HQ. If a detachment with the chain of command special rule has at least 1 model wholly within the command range of a model, with the Solar Auxiliary HQX, that'd be the range special rule, it can be issued with any order. It will be eligible to be issued. First fire, charge, march, and advance, which are the orders they're going to have in the game, instead of just an advance order. So yeah, commanders and command structure seems very important in the Auxilia, and not so much with the Astartes. So yeah, a little bit of Auxilia at the end there. Again, a lot of it is a bit foggy until we have the main rulebook, but you get the gist that it's based around command, and you can kind of get the idea of a lot of the marine stuff as well. So yeah, that's it from me. That's all I've got. Like I say, this just dropped into me, and I thought, yeah, why not share it? A lot of you might have seen this online anyway. I'm not really one for browsing around. Finally, if you have managed to watch this far at the end of the video, thank you. And if you can, why not please subscribe? 60% of our viewers at the moment are not subscribers, but are regular viewers. So you keep coming back, and subscribing just helps the algorithm gods and gets us seen more, and people might actually enjoy us. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, that's it from me. And if I get any other little bits and legions as they come in, I will let you know, and looking forward to it. And I'll catch you in the next video.